Hi, Jasnoor. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me to share this testimonial about LilacBuds and working with us. So let's just get started for everybody to start with your profile. Tell us a little bit about your journey before you joined LilacBuds.
Perfect. So I did my BSc Economics from London School of Economics, University of London. It was a distance learning course. I opted during my course was during COVID. Plus, I wanted to gain practical experience. That is why I chose distance learning, and I think it was a good experience because I understood where my interest lied while gaining practical exposure as well. I did an internship in Madrid at Nozama Solutions. It was a finance-based internship. Even though I learned a lot, but I understood that that is not where I'm meant to be. And I went on to explore more fields, and I worked on a research paper. It was a development studies-based paper, and I think that made me realize this is where my interest lies. So I think the next thing I know is I'm looking for options, master's options for international development and development studies. And I think that's how my journey went by.
Good. So you came to us with a lot of questions. You were trying to apply for top programs, and you
Yeah.
had all these questions in your head. So maybe share some of the questions that you were originally grappling with and why you decided to enroll with LilacBuds for your master's plans.
I decided to enroll with Lilac Buds was when I first had a conversation with you. I realized and I understood that okay, you're not going to be somebody who's going to sugarcoat things, and you're going to be straight with me, like where like which all colleges I can apply to. And you did say that it should be a mix, because I had a mindset, oh, I only want to apply to ABCD, and you made me understand that I need to have backups. I need to make, like, it should be a mix of everything. So I think you gave me the confidence to just like go ahead. And I had a lot of questions earlier. I was stuck on UK, that I want to go to UK, and now I'm actually going to US. So I think that it's a complete transition. It's like a 360-degree change. So we've come a long way, but mainly I think it's been because of the motivation and the confidence and the encouragement that I got from Lilac Buds, and their reputation, and how mainly because you guys target top schools, and that is what I was looking for.
Cool. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Jasnoor, yeah, and our aim for all sorts of mentoring is, of course, to make sure our students, our aspirants are like, confident learners at the end of the day, confident about even getting a reject sometimes. So with that, let's just talk a little bit about your applications. You did get your own share of rejects and accepts. So share a
Right.
little bit of details about which universities did you make it to and which ones you did not make it to as well.
Perfect. So I'll start with the ones I didn't make it to, so that like we can go into good transition.
Yeah.
So I applied to like Manchester, University of Manchester, and London School of Economics, and unfortunately, I did not get into these two. But then, when we look at the brighter side, I applied to King's College, UCL, and Georgetown University in DC, and I got into all three of them, which I feel like was a victory for me, because I was not expecting Georgetown to happen. And I think that was definitely on, like, that was the priority, that was on top of the list. And I did receive a scholarship as well
Yeah.
for Georgetown.
How much
Yeah.
was the
And
scholarship again?
it was
14,000.
$50,000. Yeah. 50,000
14,000,
and
15,000. Sorry, how much did you say?
15,000, 1 5.
$15,000. Yes. All right.
$15,000.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
I mean,
I
I'm pretty sure your dad was most excited about scholarship. I remember chatting with him about it after. Yeah.
I was jumping out of my bed. I started crying that, oh, I've got in. I threw the phone. My reaction was, I don't know. I still remember when I called you and you asked me how am I, and I said like I'm good, and you were like, only good, aren't you ecstatic? I was like, yeah, I am. I can't express. I can't, like, no words can, I think,
Yeah, because good is an
in my, like.
understatement after getting into a program like international development at Georgetown, one of the most competitive, probably. And, I mean, we did so much research on this program specifically with the kind of outcomes that you can expect on your career path and the placements that happen out there. So share a little bit about why we switched from UK to the US as well. Maybe that's a good point to have.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think mainly because US, it's a 2 year experience, and definitely they have more. I myself am looking for more practical experience rather than theoretical, and based because of my field. And US is offering that. They have capstone projects, they have program funded internships, and their internships are not necessarily located like in these states, but you can do in developing countries as well, or you can go to other places and intern. And I think that is something that I found really interesting, and I felt that that will help me broaden my perspective as well and gain more knowledge. And I think I'll get a more global outlook in US rather than in UK. I understood that because UK, I think comparatively is just more theory. It's an 8 9 month, I think, course, and I'll have more, I think, job options in US. I think
Yeah,
after
absolutely.
I.
I think I'm 200% confident it'll be much. The experiential learning component is going to open up far more opportunities to do the right internships and jobs later as well. So with that, Jasnoor, good congratulations once again for the Georgetown admit. Of course, we couldn't be more happy with the fact that you also gained a scholarship, healthy one at that. Tell us a little bit about the whole process of working with the team, right? You had other mentors also support you besides me. So talk about just the experience of working, through with us for your entire application process.
So I think I had you, I had Vashi, and I had Drishti. I don't know what I would have done without the three of you because I was a complete wreck. I was a mess. I had no clue how to go about. And you three guided me like every step of the way. And it was not just like you guys motivated and encouraged me when I got my results. And more so over you focused on, I think, how to make my I think make my portfolio shine and what all points to highlight and focus on. I think that was very important, and I couldn't have done that by myself just to understand, and I couldn't have realized my potential, and you guys made me realize
We
that, I
were we
think.
were all worried about one specific thing which we forgot earlier is the score that you had in your LSC, the online
Why?
remote learning course, which were not really shining as well. So we had to figure out what else can we highlight, which would amply cover for the experience that you really had with the research that you've done, which was very meaningful. And of course, the internships, how can we showcase those in better light, given that the GPA wasn't really the strongest point in your
No,
profile?
my GRE scores, they weren't a strong component, but I think my extracurricular, when it came to practical, like my internship in Madrid, I think it was something that that helped me come out of my niche and just to adapt to a different culture and different environment. I think that is a plus point. And secondly, my research paper, the one that I'm currently working on, then the one that has already been published, I think they were really strong, I think, magnets that were pulling my application towards an acceptance. I think these two things really.
Yes, they really bumped your chances up. They really boosted our admit probability, I think, at some of the most competitive programs. That's why
Yes.
I don't see the regret with the LSC and the Manchester. I feel more excited about the fact that we got the other three. Uh, oh, cool. So now we know what the profile elements were. Drushti herself was an LSC alum you were working with, right? Experience point, working with her. What was the insights you got?
I think working with her, it was more of having a friend as well when I was working with her because because she could understand and relate to how my field is and how my application should process. And I could just like talk to her about everything regarding my application. And I think mainly because my application was just baby proved around how it needs to focus on like certain areas, like from working from SOPs, like what all points to add and how to just like make it short and crisp and to the point, and then definitely adding every element to it. Plus I think it it was like it was a bit hassle free for me, and I was a bit less stressed comparatively because I know I had like you guys had my back, and I
You
know
had,
that
you had, yeah, you had her backing, strong backing, I would say, for all the essay components and making sure they were perfected before we submitted them to the best way
right.
she could as well, right? Like be having her
I know
experience, her knowledge.
games.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, just to make sure there were no loose ends, just like
Yes.
no loopholes or loose ends.
No,
Yeah.
no loose ends, and she's been through the process, right? She understands the LSE process. She is herself from a very similarish background, with economics and international relations. So I think there was a lot of overlap from why you found her to be your friend as well. And
Yeah.
I hope you guys, of course, stay in touch, right? Do stay in touch with her. Don't just go cold on her. Like I'm sure
So
we would
I do.
have.
When I got in, I texted her like the next moment. I remember I texted her like I got into these universities, and I'm still in touch with her. So I'm really happy about that.
Cool, cool, cool. No, that's awesome. I think that's hopefully that's all we are hoping for is that you continue being in touch with me and with her and with Vashi as you move forward. We would love to follow your journey and see where you go. And of course, hope to see you at the UN someday or the International Monetary Fund or maybe some other real big world organization after you get out of Georgetown. That's our only aspiration for you.
Cross
Just
fingers.
Yes, fingers crossed for sure. Parting words, like what would you tell somebody who's just starting their journey? What would your feedback be for them quickly? Things to keep in mind when they start their plans for an international master's at a top school.
I think just I think just to work on your portfolio, not to keep everything to the last minute, and not to keep all your eggs in one basket. Definitely, I feel like just be open to things, be open to exploring yourself wherever I think you can go, and definitely that if one door closes, there will be a window that is gonna open. So don't worry. I think something good definitely is going to be in your I think life, and I honestly feel that and if you have good mentors like Lilac Buds, I think everything's going to be I think to the T, everything's going to be correct to the T and you're going to have it like safe and you're going to have a good I think parenting environment, so there's like nothing to worry about.
Environment. All right. Cool. We'll have to probably look at that. Like, we don't want to look like parents. We want to definitely be more friends than parents. People are
Oh
scared of
yeah,
parents. People are not scared of their friends. So we want you to be open and share
friendly parents.
those innermost thoughts and share those ideas and just be cheerleaders in your journey. That's what all we hope to be. So thank you so much, Jasnoor, for placing your trust in us once again. And we are really glad that you're here at this point. Let us know if we can be of any help again once you're on the Georgetown campus. And do send us pictures every now and then. We would be happy to see how
Definitely.
you're doing that.
Now that I've connected with you guys, I don't think I'm going to stop pestering you. I think I will be like with every step of the way and like just keeping you updated about my how whereabouts and everything.
Great. That would be great. Awesome. Thank you.